Hello and welcome to Physical Media Room. In my first video that I did, I went over my top 5 movies of all time, and I figured what better way to start off video number 2 with my top 5 video games of all time. Alright, so number 5 on my top 5 video game list is going to be Need for Speed High Stakes. And if y'all stick around this channel, something you're going to find out about me is I absolutely love arcade racing games. And this is where it all started for me. This was the first ever arcade racing game I ever owned. It was one of maybe like 5 games I had on my first ever console, which was a PlayStation 1. The PlayStation 1 was passed down to me from, it started from 5 siblings up from me and made its way all the way down to me. But Need for Speed High Stakes is always going to be one of my favorites because it's one of the games that got me into arcade racing, and I absolutely love this game. I love going through unlocking all the cars. One of my favorite cars to this day is an orange McLaren, and that's because in this game and many other Need for Speed games, it is like the last car that you unlock at the end of the game, and I always absolutely love that. Okay, and at number 4 for my favorite video games is gonna be Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. Now, it was kind of hard to choose just one Sly Cooper game because all of the 3 in the trilogy are really good, and we can't forget there is a 4th one. I definitely say that one doesn't hold as special of a place to me, but the original trilogy of Sly Cooper was so much fun. It was kind of hard to pick over this and Spyro and Crash Bandicoot of all of the amazing 3D platformers that I played as a kid. But this one I kind of just remember the most fondly. I remember playing this with my sisters on one of the earlier PS2 memories I have was playing this game, and I absolutely loved it. I love the mechanics of this game, how it's a little bit stealthy, but it's easy stealth, it's fun stealth. The platforming is all very fun. The enemies are great, the boss fights are great, and honestly, you can't go wrong with just the first Sly Cooper game. It gives you that very special 3D platformer feeling that you want from a game like this, and that's why Sly Cooper is number 4 for me in my top 5 games of all time. Okay, next up here is actually a pretty special game. I have so many memories with this series overall, and it's kind of hard to pick a favorite in this series. But this one definitely is probably holds the most nostalgic value for me of the entire series, and that's going to be Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. Specifically the GameCube version. This is how I played it originally. I was a little late to the Legend of Zelda series because I didn't have a Nintendo as a kid. Like, I started out with a PlayStation, I went to a PlayStation 2, eventually I got a Nintendo 64 that I had borrowed from a friend, and I played Ocarina of Time for the first time, and that was in the early 2000s, so it was way after the popularity of those games, but I absolutely loved that game, and I had so many fond memories with it. And I remember when I got my GameCube, this was one of the first few games that I picked up, and I absolutely loved this game. It just took everything that I loved about Ocarina of Time and just grew so much with that. Just the feeling and the atmosphere of this game was so amazing, especially coming right after Wind Waker, which looking back now is a fantastic game, but I know a lot of people were disappointed because of the art style that game went. But this one just gave you a very realistic, very medieval feeling, and I absolutely love this game, and I always will. So that's why it's number 3 for me. Next up at I think we're on number 2 now. So for number 2 of my favorite games of all time, that's gonna be Medal of Honor on the PlayStation 1. Now, this is a very basic, very generic first-person shooter, but let me talk about this a little bit more. So, like I said before, my first console ever was a PlayStation 1. I had maybe about 5 games and a whole bunch of demo discs. This was one of those 5 games that I had. I remember playing this game over and over and over again because it's not a very long game. This is probably the game I beat the most times out of any other game that I've ever played. I just absolutely loved it. It's what got me into first-person shooters. And I don't think a lot of first-person shooters today really hold the atmosphere that this game has. So in this game, you play as an underground specialist in World War II. And now you're doing these underground missions, usually somewhat in stealth. You're by yourself, and it almost gives you a little bit of a survival horror kind of feeling to it, because it's like, no matter where you go or what corner you turn around, or if you're in disguise, you never know what's going to be around that corner. There's this one level in the game actually where you're down in a sewer, and it's like your only way to escape the mission is to go through the sewer, and they have the dogs, the Gestapo dogs, trying to attack you, and oh man, that is probably one of the scariest levels in this game. So if you want not only a really good first-person shooter, but also a really good, almost horror-like first-person shooter, definitely give the original Medal of Honor game the original Medal of Honor game a try. All right, so we are on our #1 best game of all time, in my opinion. Now, this is 3 games because I could not choose just one of them, because they all build off each other and they all hold some sort of continuity to each other, and I just couldn't pick, and that is going to be Marvel's Spider-Man. We've got the first one, Miles Morales, and Spider-Man 2. Now this used to be, before this game came out, probably the only other Spider-Man game that would come anywhere close was Spider-Man 2 on the GameCube, just with really great swinging mechanics and really great fighting mechanics. Like, that game on GameCube was amazing. But then this game came out, published by Insomniac, and oh my gosh, movement in these games feels so amazing. Swinging around the city as Spider-Man just feels amazing. The speed you can get when you upgrade your swinging, it's just so much fun going around the city, even if you're not doing anything else. Just roaming around the city is so much fun, and a lot of games, I think, struggle with that, because you've got things like fast travel, and a lot of times you don't want to travel to places in these games, but this game, it makes you want to free roam the city and find every little detail that you can possibly find. I love these games. The combat is so much fun. Now, yes, they did take a lot from the Batman Arkham games with their combat, but really, with a superhero game like this, you kind of have to if you want to make it good. But it just feels so smooth and so good fighting as Spider-Man with all of your different gadgets, and with your web abilities, and with your spider sense. Like, it all just feels so smooth and fluid. And I've played through these 3 games quite a bit now, and I absolutely love them. And that's why they've taken #1 for my top 5 favorite movies, or top 5 favorite video games of all time. The Spider-Man games are absolutely amazing. I'm sure you've tried them out, because everybody who has a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 5 probably has. But if you hadn't, definitely go play these games. They are absolutely amazing superhero games. Alright, so that's it for my top 5 video games of all time. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and that you'll want to come back for more in the future, where we're doing a deeper dive and more analyzation of movies and video games. But for now, always remember that physical media is forever.